I'm Amy Thurman, the visionary and catalyst behind the Resilient Futures Initiative. I am overwhelmed, blown away, just in shock, literally, by the amount of support that I have already received just from this morning. I made a post this morning, pretty much just introducing you to this idea and my heart about the Resilient Futures Initiative. And since then, literally within a matter of hours, I have received so many questions, so much support, even offers to help promote it financially and support it financially. People from teachers being interested, people wanting to know how they can help, how they can get involved, how they can help promote this initiative. And I literally am blown away and so overwhelmed. I just am so grateful and so thankful. So I wanted to come on here for a few minutes and share my heart with you, explain some more about it, because obviously there is a need for this. There is a desire for this. You all are asking me lots of great questions. And so I wanted to address some of that today. So the question is, what is the Resilient Futures Initiative? This was, oh my gosh, it's been stirring in my heart for literally over 20 years. I have been learning so many things and implementing so many things that have led to the creation of this initiative for over 20 years. And it's basically an initiative to help better prepare students for a resilient life beyond the classroom by empowering schools and communities to work together instead of in isolation, which is what is happening now, right? In the education system and in communities, they are both communities, but they are working in isolation. They're not meant to be that way. It's not meant to happen that way. Education systems and communities are meant to work together. If you can't tell, I am extremely passionate about this. I get emotional about it. So I don't intend for this video to go long, but oh my gosh, I could carry on about this all day because it is my heart. This is something I have been, like I said, working on for so long, and I'm so excited to bring it to you and excited that you're interested and want to know more. So today I'm going to talk about just the piece of resilience. There are so many tenets to this. There are so many pieces and parts to it. There's a foundation, there's a framework that I have built and all of that, but I'm not going to share that with you right now. At some point I will, but there's so much I don't want to overwhelm you with it, but I do want to share little pieces of it at a time to help explain what it is and how it works. And so today I'm going to focus on the piece of resilience. As I said, our schools and communities should be working together, but they don't. However, in my practice, I got a master's degree from the University of Oklahoma in educational and community renewal, and I learned how to help empower them to be able to work together. I put that into practice, and I was able to see the effect on students' lives, the way it benefits students' lives. It's incomparable. I don't even know the word. I get so passionate, so worked up about this. When schools and communities work together, it helps students in ways that you cannot imagine. And I know what you're thinking. First of all, was an educator, I was an administrator, I was a social worker, I'm a parent, I'm a community member, I'm a business owner. So I have, throughout my life, played or been in all of those different roles. And so I know what it's like to be in those roles. And I know as an educator and administrator, I know what you're thinking. I can see it. I can feel it. This is what I would be thinking if I was in that position still. This is another one of those programs, a curriculum I'm going to have to incorporate into my already overwhelmed, busy schedule that I don't have enough time to teach and to implement what I'm supposed to. And you're going to throw another program at me that I'm going to have to learn how to implement. And then you're going to walk away and expect it to be done. No, that's not what this is. I was in that position. I was pretty much forced to implement so many programs in my classroom that it became overwhelming. And so that's not what this is. I'm not asking teachers and administrators to do more. I'm actually, when this is implemented, the teachers and administrators will have help. They will be able to actually do the job that they were hired to do the job that they're passionate about. I fully believe that teachers and administrators go into these roles, go into these positions, into this profession because they truly are passionate about helping students. But what happens is we overwhelm them with all the things. They cannot do it all. We know this. Teachers and administrators cannot do all the things we expect them to do. And so they lose sight of that passion because they're so overwhelmed and so overworked. And it's making me emotional because I was there. And so this is far from that. That's not what this is. I want to point that out up front, that that is not what this is. And as a community member and a business owner myself, I know what you might be thinking. Oh, I'm going to have to volunteer more hours. I'm going to have to allow my employees to go out of the business and into the school and take time. They won't be able to do their jobs. That kind of thinking, right? That's not what this is. This is a whole different program, a whole different format, a whole different framework, because I have been there. I have lived in that situation. I have practiced. I have put these skills into practice. I have seen them work, and I'm so excited to be able to bring them to you on a bigger scale, on a larger platform. And like I said, I have been working on this for over 20 years. If this is your first encounter with me, thank you for watching. I'm so honored that you're watching. But I do need to help you understand, or I do need to share with you the way that I have learned a lot of this stuff. I have lived with a broken neck for the past 10 years, and I went from being completely incapacitated. I was working at a major university one day. The very next day, I couldn't even take myself to the restroom. So I was completely incapacitated, disabled for nearly a year. I couldn't even take myself to the restroom. I came very, very close to swallowing a handful of pills because my existence was miserable for myself and my family. And I had this moment of clarity where I remember thinking, what if I don't have to die? What if I can take the same energy I'm using trying to die and flip it around and use it to fight to live instead? Maybe I can get better. And if I can get better, maybe I can use my experience to help other people. And so that began the mindset shift of switching my energy on fighting to live with the intention of using my story to help other people. And so I began my fight, 10 years worth, through the medical and disability systems. Talk about resilience. It took so much resilience for me to fight my way through 6 neurologists, 6 years to figure out what was actually wrong with me, 6 months to figure out my neck was broken, all of those things. So I was able to build my resilience muscle, as my friend Blair Kaplan Venables calls it. She's a grief and resilience expert, and she talks about resilience being a muscle. It's something you can build and learn to do. I learned the hard way through being completely incapacitated and fought my way back to now living the life of my dreams, being able to put this initiative together and bring it to you. And so the piece I want to talk to you today is about resilience. It's called Resilient Futures for a reason. I don't have to tell you this. You know, our students are not resilient. They don't know how to use the resilience muscle. We're not allowing them to use the resilience muscles. And you know what that turns into? Adults who don't know how to use the resilience muscles. And so part of this framework includes helping empower our students to learn to be resilient. They are so interested in instant gratification. They don't want to wait. They don't want to work. They don't want to be responsible. They don't want to have to use their brains. I can say this. I live with a teenager, so I know this firsthand. I used to teach teenagers, so I know how this is. That's the case. You all know it's true. I'm not talking bad. I'm just saying this is the fact. That's the society we live in with our students. And they're learning to do that to become adults who do the same thing. And that has to change. Something has to give. Something has to change. And I feel like this is what is needed. This is the step that's needed to interrupt that pattern, to help teach them how to be resilient. It doesn't mean that we're going to take all the devices away and no longer allow them to look at screens. That's not reasonable. Our society is a device-driven society. So they have to know how to use devices. That's just part of it. But we can teach them how to use those devices in a way that can help them build that resilience muscle. And so that's one of the main tenets of this framework, of this initiative, is using what I have learned about resilience and how to build that resilience muscle to help schools and communities work together to empower our students to build that resilient muscle so that they can live resilient lives beyond the classroom. You all know it just as well as I do. Our students are not being prepared for life. 7% of students and 30% of adults, get this, believe that their public education prepared them for life beyond the classroom. 7%, That's staggering. We know it though, right? We are, like I said, our teachers were expecting them to do too much. They don't have to. If we will partner with our communities, we can all do it together. It will benefit not just the schools, but the communities. Our students don't know how to be upstanding community members because we're not teaching them. That's a whole nother issue. I told you I get passionate about this. I love talking about it. So I want this to be short. I'm going to do a series of these to share different tenets of the initiative with you to help you more fully understand what we're looking at here. And I have received so many great questions, like I said, that I I am just overwhelmed, like I said. And what I want to share is that at this point in the journey, in this initiative, I'm the visionary, I'm the catalyst. I'm rallying the troops. I am figuring out who wants to help with this initiative. Yes, I have it all laid out, but that's not the point we're at right now. At some point I will explain all of that to you, but right now it's I need to know who is willing to help, who wants to be involved, who wants to learn more, who is interested in being a part of this Resilient Futures initiative. Because as I learned by being completely incapacitated, it takes a community, it takes a group of people, it takes a village. This is not something I'm saying, I know everything about it, so you're going to do everything I say. No, this is, I have been there. I've tested this out. I've done this with students. I've done this with communities, and I know the power of it. This, if we work together, we can empower so many students for resilient lives beyond the classroom. And so what I'm asking right now is for your help. I need to know if you're interested, if you're willing to be a part of this, even if you just want to learn more. If you want to sit back and watch from the sidelines, I still need your information so I can keep you in the loop. So I've attached a link in the description, or you can go to, let me pull this up here, to my website. There's a web page on there specifically for Resilient Futures. If you go to that web page or you go to the link in the description, at the very bottom, there's a button where you can click to learn more. That will bring you to a form that you will fill out it goes right to me, and it gives me the information that I need to know from where are you seeking this information? Are you a parent? Because parents are a huge part of this. Are you a parent? Are you a community member? Are you a teacher? Or are you wanting information on behalf of your school, on behalf of your business? All of those things, I need to know that. So if you would please go to that link, fill in your information there so I can begin to gather these names, gather these group of like-minded people who are willing to help get this mission started. We want to join the movement. I want you to join the movement to be a part of this because, like I said, I can't do this by myself. It's a powerful, powerful thing, but it's going to take all of us. And so please fill out that form to be involved and join the movement. And let me know if you have questions. Please, on that form, the very, very last question, ask for your questions. Please ask your question there. I have gotten so many questions in the different social media platforms, which is great. But what happens is with a brain injury, I lose track of them. And so it's easiest for me to keep them all in one place. So if you have a question, please go to that form and the very bottom, ask your question there. And I will be in touch with you. Okay, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I would love to connect with you if we're not connected on the socials so that we can stay informed and get to know each other. I'm all about collaboration. That's what it takes, right? And using my experience to help others. So until next time, I will be back with another video explaining another tenet of the Resilient Futures Initiative. And I'm so grateful for you. Okay, have a great weekend, you guys. Bye.